may I say let be praised to whom all praise our due is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Women Auxiliary presents Empress Sadie Saunders.
Greetings. What kind of start are we having? Greetings, Charlie. How's everyone doing? Didn't get my jump starters yet. Greetings, everyone. I know it's not my time to start. Charlie, can you hear me clearly? Or is my time? I don't know what's happening. I was expecting my video to play, but I didn't get the video play.
Yes, everything played. You are live. I don't know why you didn't see it, but you're live.
I didn't see it, so then I'm having technical problems because I didn't see the video play. I saw Shiloh came on, and that was it.
Shiloh came on, and then you did the 30 countdown, and then you came back on screen, so you're live.
Yeah, but I think I'm having a little technical problem because all I saw is the number 21. I didn't see a countdown, so I may be having a little problem. You think so? I want to welcome each and everyone.
Right, you're fine now, so go ahead.
Okay, I would like to, however, would have seen the video with my jingle, but I don't know what happened there. So we played it in between when we get a little time to pause, if possible. So I want to welcome each and everyone on this wonderful Sunday evening. This is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Woman Auxiliary Local 26. It's Sadie Gomez, your host for the evening, coming to you live and alive. I want to welcome you to the show this evening. I hope everything runs smoothly for my guests and for as we sit into the studio. It's nice and warm and cozy. It's a family evening. And I really want to bring this topic this evening. It's about the theory of evolution. So we know that Darwin was right about what he said. And for those who are not sure of what Darwin said, there were times have gone by whereby the very color of your skin had been a problem and has been related to other, well, let's just say animals. So we, the Black people of the world, are very proud Black people, but yet we, at one time, or maybe even still today, we were told that we came from monkeys. There were even, this was actually taught in school, and a theory was given for such an event, and this theory was a theory of evolution, whereby Darwin, a great philosopher in his time, or scientist, or a man of high caliber, or so established, said that mankind evolved from monkeys. And there were pictures drawn where we saw man in the stages. A lot of people may be familiar with that picture where you saw the monkey and walking on all fours, and the point where he reached to be a man. Here we go. This is something where we were taught in school. I mean, you had to go to high school, you had to study psychology, sociology, and all the other ologies to be called wise. And this are some of the wise teachings for those who were liberated enough to go to high school and to study tertiary education, believed that this theory of evolution to be true. Some people, as wisdom was abound, questioned this theory because this theory seemed to have racial connotations. But I want to say this evening that Darwin was right. He was right about one thing, but the interpretation of the thing has been really miscalculated. Darwin said that man came from monkeys. Oh, yes, but that would include certain mankind that came from monkeys. And we'll examine the monkey. You have the big baboon, the orangutan, and the various other species, even the small kind of like cute ones like the pint size. Some people have them as pets even. But let's examine what was said. The monkey, for one thing, is not black. So we know we in the clear with that. The monkey has black hair that give him the appearance of being black. He is not. The monkey is actually pale skin, covered with black hair. So therefore, we would know of the people that came from the monkeys. And such knowledge is really a bit much for us in terms of how do we erase this information from our mind. We were told we were monkeys. But the truth is, we, the Black people of the world, as we, the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, would have stated we, the Black people of the world, are proud people. We are actually a people made after the image and likeness of the Almighty. We have a real face, real eyes, real nose, a certain proportion to the planet, not to the planet, but to the position and to a placement in the earth, that our nose would be wider or straighter depending on territory. We have full lips. We have a face. And we were made to be ashamed of this look and of this face. We were told all sorts of things because the white people had a standard of beauty by which you are now judged. So you had to have thin lips like a monkey, really tiny nose like a monkey, and your eyes had to be really set close like the monkey. And that was the mark of beauty. Because if you had full lips and a flat, broad nose and perfectly almond-shaped eyes, a face like mine, you know, there are people calling me and I don't know how I can possibly answer this call. Oh my goodness. I really can't. So we are live and I know that Some people probably was trying to get on and then we came on a little later on. So, but that's what happens when we're alive. And I would not like to lose my train of thought. As I was saying, the white people had a standard by which they measured beauty. And we were told that beauty were judged or acknowledged by certain features. They even had beauty contests, Miss Universe, Miss World, to show what beauty looked like. Because we have come to a time and a point where we are realizing, because everything has been exposed right now, that the black man and the black woman have been under so much pressure just for being black. It has even been a crime. As we go along for the evening, we would establish that the color of your skin put you in so much trouble. And the only thing you can do is get out of the skin because it covers you. And the world, the system, the colonizers, because now we have to speak openly because there's nothing hidden anymore. It cannot be, because the time has come for such an exposure. We were made to understand that the color of your skin, the way you look, the kinkiness of your hair is something to be ashamed of. In the world of beauty and standards by which they measure beauty contests, you became ashamed of what was given to you. You wanted to switch up. You wanted to bleach your skin. You wanted to perm your hair. You wanted to straighten your nose, as in the case of Michael Jackson, and then the nose fell off. And you wanted to get a different look because society put the pressure upon you and you begin to not even like yourself. But we have come to a time, thank God it's 2025, whereby we are all scrambling to be black and more black with flat noses and broad lips so Africa can't throw us out. I'm telling you, I have no problem. I just need 2 days in the sun, but I'll be all right. They have to take me in Nigeria or Ghana, they have to. But for those of us who have bleached our skin and straightened our noses and thin our lips, we are just about wondering what's going to happen to you, because there are now places in Africa, well, Africa being a large continent, so I should be specific, but Kenya, Ghana, and certain other places have banned bleach creams and bleaching of skin, because that whole scenario of women bleaching their skin brings us back to our conversation this evening about the theory of evolution and how Darwin was right. We were made to believe that we were the monkeys. So we were black and ugly like the monkeys. So we did everything to run away from that. We are black and we are proud beings created from the earth. That's who we are. And earth is either black or brown. If you shave a monkey, for those who are just came into the studio and are listening, you would see a monkey has pale skin. A monkey is not black. A monkey has thin lips, straight nose, and eyes that look exactly wrong and beady in their faces. And we are not the people that look like that. Our features are quite different, and our whole mannerism has been quite different. Even as a people in the collective, we have known civilization way before any set of people. We, Africa, the cradle of civilization, we knew of all fine things long before the others came. In a matter of fact, we were here so long, I'm beginning to think that Columbus was a black man. I have to really question that because I'm saying, everybody was black. Until, I'm afraid that I would have been jumping off and on like this. The next time I jump off, Charlie, for some reason, just play the video because I have to set up the other phone. I really don't know why I should have a problem with my phone. I have unlimited everything that I paid for, and yet still when I have to bring certain topics, I don't know. But the algorithm picked me up with some conversation, but the show gotta go on, as they say. The show gotta go on. So we were in a place where we ran away from ourselves. We can stand ourselves. We hated ourselves, and this hatred even extended so far into our psyche that we started hating our brothers, our sisters. We started killing each other. Why? Because being black and having the stigma that went with it, we never felt proud. We felt ashamed. We felt beaten down. We felt the need to destroy each other. But for my black brothers and sisters today, it's a beautiful day and a great day dawning and a big bright sunshine, which we'll talk about in a little while. And that's Africa for you. It is a wonderful day to be black and proud. It's a wonderful day when you could look on the internet and realize that Africa is not the Africa of yesterday, but the Africa we are looking at is the present day Africa. There's no more turning back, as our musical unit, First Vice, have brought us
Blessed love.
where he said no turn back.
No
So
turn
this
back, you know.
evening, I would like to welcome each and everyone to the studio this evening. I want to say a pleasant good evening to First Vice. How are you this evening?
I am blessed, respect and honor and love
Pleasant good
each
evening.
and
I welcome you to the
everyone.
show, First.
Respect host S. Sadie Gomez. Blessed love, enough love and I respect each and everyone. Big up yourself, engineer, Mr. Charlie. Enough love and I respect also for all the others online, brothers and sisters. One love. Blessings.
Blessings.
Blessings, brother.
Look like the aliens is on our
Y-
host tonight.
Yes, seems so. Seems so. Well, it's the forces, you know.
I know,
They
and
never they never stop fight, you know.
always something. But hopefully she'll be back real soon, within the next couple of seconds or so.
Yeah, we
And
hope.
it was funny when it went out the first time when she was talking about when if you shave the monkey, uh,
Yeah,
it'll be pale. But a lot of people believe in the theory of evolution, and then there's a lot of people who just really don't.
Yeah, definitely. They are. Well, I'm one of them who don't, you know. Monkey is monkey and I is I. Monkey is not human being. You understand? We are human being. We speak. You understand? And they have intelligence, you know, but we are the speaking species. Other animals or other creatures communicate by different means, you know, but I and I human being we speak, you know, to communicate with each other. We reason with one another, you know, yeah, to
Are you
overcome.
are you are you are you suggesting that other species do not talk to each other and do not reason with each other?
Yes, but not speak verbal like we, you know, by
But they
different
but they speak.
communication.
But they
Yes,
speak.
yes, they do.
They speak to each other,
Of
right?
course,
Right.
definitely, they
So,
do.
uh, so are you saying that our form of speech is superior or better?
Yeah, I would say superior because you know, we human beings speak in many different languages, you know, and yet if you study, you can still know what they are saying.
Right.
Yeah, so you know, I think we are all creatures of the Most High, but we are the supreme creature because I don't know. Well, the Bible says, "Let everything that have breath praise God," but we know that we praise the Most High and we give thanks for our lives. So I guess they do the same too.
In some other fashion.
Yes, they do because the Bible says, "Let everything that have breath praise the Most High." You know, so I
Right.
guess they know it's their duty to give thanks to the Most High too. You know,
Or at minimum have a consciousness that there is something greater than them that exists that gave them this ability to exist.
exactly, definitely,
You
because
know,
there
just
got
that
to be a higher
mentality.
being. You know,
Right.
who responsible for all the answers and the questions. You know, yeah.
Greetings.
Blessings. You're back.
Yes, and what happened is the aliens are really misbehaving because I'm trying with this new phone and they just tell me it cannot be reloaded. I cannot get on. So I don't know what's happening. So I heard very much intelligent conversation coming from you and Charlie, and it's a proud black moment. And it's why when we have to bring certain conversations, they definitely take me, and I have to
Yes.
deal with it because I'm about to talk about the proud black race, and I want to talk about the fact that we were told that men came from monkeys, and really that is true. But it's not the man that were made after the image and likeness of the Almighty. But we have to understand there's two type of man. There's man, the original man, and then there's mankind, which is a kind of man, which it's a little technical here, but not everyone that is walking around with us today on the earth is human. So we have to accept that. There's nothing we can do to change it, but the acceptance of it has to come. So there's man and there's mankind, which is a kind of man, which is not human or totally so. And the fact that monkeys became involved when the fallen angels came down and had relationships, as they said, with the daughters of that were upon the earth, all of that was not quite true. Some truths I want to drop before they take me again. What has really come into being, these fallen angels actually had sexual relationships with monkeys. And hence the reason we see something like beastily mentioned in the Bible. When something of such ancient time has been mentioned, it came from somewhere. So, really, that practice came about with the fall, and they brought about kind of being which we would say mankind. And that really started sexual relationships with monkeys. And as they evolve, is because the children that came from such a union came out more human looking than monkey. And of course, this being now would have mated with another regular human being. And so their generation came up and they stood upright and they were able to be called mankind. And they still have the hair on their back because I'm telling you, not to dog anybody before the aliens take me. I once worked in a spa, European spa, and one of the main treatments that people came for, and I would have never known this if I didn't work there, men came to shave their backs. And I'm telling you, they had the hair long, like almost 3, 4 inches or more on their backs. Now, I wasn't the person working to do such the job. You know, you had the people, the technicians who would do such a job. But the fact that if you should ever see this really close up, it's only one thing it could look like. And black men do not have hair that grows like that. They just don't. So therefore, we are looking as to how things were shaped. So when Darwin wrote this theory of evolution, he understood what was happening. That is where they came from. And if you are telling a story, you are most likely telling a story of your experience, of what happened to you as a person. So therefore, Darwin was right. He was a white philosopher, such a man of high caliber in his time, and he told the story about his race. So we understand that now. So we are watching now as the black race is starting to rise. As I said, people are scrambling like crazy. People are scrambling like crazy to become black because melanin is something now that is so very valuable that more and more research has been done, or rather, more exposure has been given to the fact that the black man is the real man. He is the true man, and he is not the kind of man that came from the pictures that we are watching right now on our screen, whereby we saw this creature, this beast walking on all fours, and then he came upright a little bit and upright a little bit. This was the interbreeding with humans. And now, as we go on further to see, again, it was a preservation of their race that came from, that history. And we are seeing again today the YT people, because, we travel all around, they are now trying again to preserve their race by going after the melanated brothers. And for you melanated ones out there and in studio, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So it's a case where you are now a prime product. You are high in the market, you're pricely on the market, and you're sorted after, uh, especially by the white women. I speak for the black brothers, simply because we have gotten to a point of understanding, overstanding, and understanding what it means for the preservation of a race. And even right now, I understand this will from some young brothers that in Dubai, I hear if you only go to Dubai, I'm telling you, it's like 50,000 a evening because that melanin, they just want to have some company with it. So I don't know how you all are making it out, but Dubai is a place. I understand that they cannot get enough of you all over there. So again, preservation of the race because their race is dying out. They know a serious time has come, and now they sought after the black brothers who can help them through to keep the species alive, I should say. So we don't have that problem as we are the original people. We are the people coming from the soil, the clay of the earth. Mother Earth herself molded us with her hands, and we are the brown and black people, just like Earth. We even smell like the Earth. And a day when the rain fall and the sun has baked the earth and the rain fall upon it, I'm telling you, it is delicious. I even find myself eating dirt. Please don't judge me. I eat dirt and sometimes stones. But, it really tastes good, I'm telling you. So this is what has happened. And here we are this Sunday evening. This is Sadie Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, Local 26, Woman Auxiliary, coming to you live and alive. So let me give my audience a time to chime in because I fell out for a moment. As I said, I welcome each and everyone to the studio, and we are weighing in on the topic of being black. Are we monkeys or are we kings and queens? So I have my studio guests chime in on that. So I will ask First Vice to give me a little bit of info.
Greetings. Are you hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear, and welcome to the Sadie Sunday Show, which is your show also.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Yes, on the topic of the monkeys. Oh my God. We the black people of the world go through so much tribulation because of the color of our skin, the shape of our nose, and all these, the color of our eyes, the texture of our hair. But it's the Almighty that made us so different from our other people. John the Baptist says he saw the risen Christ in a vision, and this is how he looks. He has woolly hair, brass skin, and red eyes. So I understand this is the identification of the royal family of Christ. And the world knows that we ain't no monkeys. The world know that we are the first civilized being on this planet. We are the first in everything. But you know what happened? We love God and our ancestors more than anything else in this world. That's why the enemy could come in on us and come into our own place to try to overthrow us. Take our own place and try to take our own life. Which other nation they could go and run that risk with? It is because we have so much love in us. We use love and mercy and overcome all these wicked atrocities that they done to us. You understand? We leave vengeance to the Almighty Father. Mother Nature is the one that take our vengeance. I know we may not look like, but we are the most loving and caring people in the world. The black people of this world. Could you go to China and try to take over China as a black man? Could any black man go to any other country in the world and say he wants to take it over? Or he wants their resources, their gold, their diamond, their oil? That could never happen. But it's happening to us, you know why? Because we are so God fearing and God loving, and they can tell us anything. They can use this colonial system and church and state and society and trick us. We ain't coming from no monkey. Maybe other peoples are coming from monkey because factually, some of these people are talking about we are coming from monkey. They are the one who were drinking out of skull and living in caves when we were well civilized and
Right.
and educated. Yes, these are the ones who were drinking out of their brother's skull. Oh my God, that's so wicked and trust me, inhumane. How could you be boasting that you're drinking out of skull and you notice the Ku Klux Klan? That's what they
Well,
do.
our
That
first vice, before you continue, I cannot even stop myself from wanting to tell you. That same practice is alive today, and there's a fraternity, and there are men that belongs to a group called Skull and Bones, and they're drinking from skulls right now today. But we'll have to bring that conversation another time. So first, Vice, we can continue. And Charlie know what I'm talking about.
yes, it is a long road to travel, but we got to let them know that we are the first in everything, and history is there to back it.
Oh yes.
So they try to take everything. Why take everything from us? But guess what happened? History is backing us, and history is bringing them into the light also. You understand? History is doing everything. So we're not worrying. We know we are the light. The Bible says, "Woe be unto them who say they are Israelite and they are not." You
Yep.
understand? The
Yeah, we
Bible.
got you.
Yes.
We know the algorithms will pick up the words. So we are careful with our way we operate. But what you're saying, and as I said, the Bible says so, you don't make up the story. But we are happy this evening as everyone that join us. And we want to give Charlie a time to weigh in on that skull and bones with the presidents. What you
Blessed
have to
love.
say, Charlie?
Well, I mean, I hadn't really planned on weighing in about the skull and bones and the presidents. I was still stuck on the fact that you trying to pimp us out to Dubai. Uh, so
Oh, 50,000 a pop.
I'm like,
I can do
she giving
manager.
us, she, she done came up with a side job for us. Listen, there are there are a lot of theories that are out there. It's hard to take some of them serious, and for the most part, I believe that they're bits and pieces of what actually happened that exist in between some of these theories. I think also we would be cheating ourselves if we didn't add in the Sumerian texts that talk about the Anunnaki and those that came from Nibiru with Anu, with Inky and Alil, and their experiment to create a human workforce. So we got to figure all of that in because that would also help explain in this theory of evolution that has been presented by Mr. Darwin, there's something that's called the gap, where the progress seems to have sped up. So one theory is if you take the Sumerians' text about the Anunnaki coming to Earth and creating a human, creating a being, a workforce by splitting the gene, and follow that whole story, the chaos that happened, the fight behind it. There's so much history and some things happen that we never get a chance to explore. But if we take it and we fill it into that gap, it would explain the gap theory in the process of evolution and the speeding up. But then the question then becomes, who are those that were created after the Aegeans had died off and had left the country and had left the planet to go back because there was no longer harvesting gold to take back to Nibiru. So there, there,
Well,
there's a lot in there that we could consider in this whole process. When we get into those things about man, the evolution of man, and then mankind.
Well, the one thing I want to say, or rather add to your conversation, Nibiru is going to return. And people are citing a big red sun, and it's about time that baby come back around. I'm just waiting to see who is captaining the ship when they came back, because I heard ancestors might be on that ship. So we can have questions answered, because that's of great intelligence. Another thing that is questionable that I myself have said, man came from monkeys, but or rather Darwin theory that supported that. Now, if man came from monkeys, let's say, and we take the theory straight without me having added the sexual part about what really went down, and let's just take man came from monkeys as a straight conversation. If man came from monkeys, how come today man are not coming from monkeys? So it wouldn't make sense that a monkey could make a man, or he came from monkeys, or he evolved. There would have been sexual contact to breed a being, or a kind of being. So that's the process by which humans multiply upon the earth in that form. Even animals is a sexual process, but except the mermaids who impregnate themselves. But there's that process by which life continues, which is um sperm meet eggs, and then the gestation period, and then the zygote that forms into life. And from day one, that living cell organism is alive from the time of conception. So we're seeing, if it is those other people, the kind of man, are not like us. So they came from somewhere, and there's much to be discussed. So I let the floor open to my very intelligent audience who is here this evening. Welcome each and everyone.
No, I mean, listen, um, these theories are lots of times more than just theories. You talk about Nibiru coming back in the mothership. I mean, but that's one way of telling the story. A more modern way of telling the story is the story that comes out of Islam, and the return of the mothership. All right, which for many years was people ridiculed the Nation of Islam and Prophet Muhammad for these crazy stories, but now they seem to be coming back around, told from a different angle. If you know the history, if you're familiar with these various mythologies, so to say. So I would say, listen, when we talk about the reason why we did not come from monkeys, I would agree, but I will also say, let's take that a step further and say, then where did the monkey come from?
Well, in the beginning,
Okay,
when darkness was upon the earth, and
okay,
God said, "Let there be light," and there
okay,
was light. There was
okay.
creation. So he did animals before he did humans, didn't he? If story be true.
Right. So then let's say that the mechanics here on the third dimension seem to be based around some type of revolution. And in that revolution, in that revolving, there are anomalies that now becomes an evolution. And so, what if at one time all life was simply fungus, and then fungus became a tadpole, and then the tadpole became various types of other insects or water insects, and then there from that you got a fish, you got a shrimp, you got this, you got that, and from that one began fungus, And then one day, those evolutions crawled up out of the water onto the earth. And because now they were on the earth, the gas that they was breathing changed. The gas that they was breathing underwater was a lot thicker than the gas that exists once they got on earth, and then begin to develop other functions to adapt to that new environment. And then that process kept going until we have what we have today. This is just a thought process. But in that, you would have to include all things, unless at some point we go back to the biblical theory that man showed up on earth one day on a Tuesday afternoon around 4 o'clock. You follow me? And then all of a sudden man was here. Whether we have identified that man as black, white, blue, green, or whatever, how did that man then get here in whole, as we understand man to be now? Got here, showed up with a brain, with nose, eyes, feet, bad breath, all of that in one single event.
But when you speak of that metamorphosis, the tadpole and the frog, you know, and the caterpillar and the butterfly, I mean, it was in creation where he said, "Let us create man in our own image and likeness," wasn't it?
Absolutely. So my question to you then becomes, what is the image and likeness of God? Have we assumed that the image of God is as we see in the mirror? Have we reduced God to a human form because that is the extent of our mental capacity?
God forbid.
God forbid. Let's see if we get some others in here.
Let's bring them in. It's a Sunday evening
Uh,
show. It's a family
yeah,
evening. Welcome.
good evening, everyone, and give thanks to Most High, our
Welcome.
Creator. Um, as I'm studying and looking at historical facts, and seeing the science of today, you know, gene the gene theory has been promoted very, very highly, today, where you can breed another human being or a dog or a cat or what have you. But this go you did there were signs of that on the pyramids, you know, and in different areas of Egypt where the sign for the genes, all right, or the DNA is very prevalent. So if we're talking about creation, all right, we can talk about manipulation. If we're talking about the Anunnaki, all right, they were beings that is said that were created. They created, if I'm repeating that correctly, they created man a workforce because they didn't want to work. Sounds like some people I know. Uh, um, but so when I see the DNA, which is an amazing thing. 50 years ago, where they said, "Oh, there's DNA, and this is how it's created." And, we have some DNA from a frog. We got some, and they create life from a DNA and change structure, improve the human condition by changing the DNA. I'm seeing that happening thousands and thousands of years ago. Because it's when I look at it, when I see these signs, that's what I'm looking at. The manipulation of genes, whether it's the manipulation of the monkey into the Anunnaki, and part of the Anunnaki genes, or what have you. It seems like this thing has been going on for a long time. And when we talk about God, God is who we worship. Didn't I say that you are God's sons of Most High? And then thou shalt not have any other gods before me, and then make no other image or likeness of God. That's what the Muslims are talking about when the gentleman did the picture of Muhammad. Of course, his word said, the Bible says, make no image.
And let's add to, not to cut you off, but let's add to that, God within.
Yeah, God within.
God within.
Yeah.
And as above,
Yes.
so below.
Yes.
How does that work? What is the mechanics of that? What does it mean that greater works than these shall ye do?
In my name,
right.
Manipulation, gene manipulation. Listen, there are people. You got these people who do remote viewing. Okay, the military uses it a lot. All right, and so on. And that's from what I read. That's nothing new. People were doing that a long time ago. Laying on of hands, the end of positive energy from
Reiki, right?
Reiki, yeah, yes,
Reiki,
and
right.
so laying on of hands or speaking a word, changing a vibration.
Right.
That's something that God, he said, and then when I go back, he says, didn't I say you gods do what I do?
Right.
I showed you.
Right. Right. Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is that we don't believe.
Yes.
Right? So we have been so programmed to believe that God is on the outside of us. All right. So in order for us to get anything done, we have to look for sources on the outside in order to make that happen, when what we need is already in us, because God is in us. We are a part of that whole soul, or that whole solar, or that whole solar system, or that sun system, that color system that creates the hue that makes you a hue man. So and then again, we need to every day examine the words that we say, that we use over. What does that mean? Where does that word come from? Where does the word human come from?
Oh man, yeah.
Human. It's a compound word. It's two words put together to make one. And as a part of that, we understand what man, but what about hue? Okay, hue means color. It's the color spectrum. Where does the color spectrum come from? The
Or
sun,
hue down.
the solar, or the color system.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Or being hued down.
Right, now. I tell people all the time, listen, you are a divine entity having a human experience.
Yes.
Okay, you have been incarcerated in a cell of cells. Okay, you have been sentenced to life, and you're doing time here on the third dimension. When we understand these things, it will change how we look at our whole life. It will change what it'll give meaning to greater things than these that you do. But it's understanding. And so part of, the process to control was to keep information from us, spiritual information. And anything having to do with spirituality, anything having to, was wrong if it wasn't,
I'm having
based
such a night,
on
Charlie.
or they
I'm
can't.
jumping off, coming back.
It's something, because even when we're talking about the level of understanding, uh, Pedion, Wias, and Technon, if I'm saying that in the right order, a child, a teenager, and a grown spirit. We if we look at that in the way of that, we're all children of the Most High, of the Spirit of God, and there's only so much that He's going to allow us to do until we grow into that second phase. And then what you say, Dr. Winborn, as far as the third dimension, but there's dimensions outside of that we're not ready for. Maybe the fact is that some of us, or most of us, are not ready for his total enlightenment, or her, you know, total enlightenment. And so this is where we're going through stages, and there's some people
No, we stuck in the matrix.
we
Most
stuck.
of
Yeah,
us stuck in the matrix. Empress, I
yeah,
think your mic is back open. I think you're back. Wave your hand. I think you. Okay, well maybe not.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people are still stuck in the matrix, and they are afraid to come out of the matrix because the matrix represents security to them. It's what they know. It's an environment that they're used to, that they're familiar with.
comfortable with.
You fo- you follow me? So um, they will fight against anything that suggests anything outside of what they are already know as known truth. You know,
Yes.
so I remember when the first time as a young minister, when I even know not as a young minister, as a seasoned minister, and someone seasoned in Christianity begin to see the differences. When I begin to see them, I saw them the whole time. Begin to express the differences that I begin to notice within Christianity, and express it to those that were my friends, peers, and churchmen. And I remember the rejection that I got from that. You know. All right, Empress, you're back. I think you're back. Sister Sadie, are you back? It looks like you're back. I see your camera moving, but I don't hear anything.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, let's steal her again.
Yeah, she backed out again. So
Oh,
I mean, brother, first vice, brother Shiloh, what do you think about all of this craziness?
my God, my God. Right now, they're trying their utmost best to get us confused, because the reality of life is just taking place right now. What was hidden from the wise and prudent now revealed to the babe I'm sucking. All the truth is coming out now, and they do not know how to angle the truth with this generation. This generation ain't gonna take what we took. This generation is more educated and more advanced than us, and they are not taking no foolishness. They are not
Right,
taking no modern slavery. You
right.
understand? They're not in
They
for
don't want
that.
to hear it.
No, they don't want to hear that. We
They don't
pay
want to hear
we we pay enough for them to live
it. Right.
prosperous and you understand me, and have enough and
So
secure future.
each generation have different revelations and different understandings, right? So I'm in my generation, I believe that we were telling our parents, I was telling my parents that you've been duped, you've been lied to about
Yes,
the
yes.
effects of church. We used to always have this big discussion about marijuana, weed, whether it was good or bad. And I used to tell her how she was been duped. The difference between my generation and now my children is that I, they don't have to have that conversation with me because I already understand these things. And the advantage that my children had is that most of them now has been running around with the total sum of our knowledge in their back pocket.
Yes. Of course.
Whereas what I got for as education and information, I had to go dig it out. I had to go to the library. I had to buy books. I had to do this. I had to do that. Don't have to do that no more. Any question they have, any question at all they got to do is Google it or hit any one of the other search engines.
Google. So, but there are information which older than Google.
Absolutely.
So how do we work out that?
Well, not only this information that's older than Google, hopefully Google can go back and get that information, but this information that was destroyed so that no one could have it in an effort to keep us in bondage. What happens is, I believe in something called the Akashic Records. Now, what are the Akashic Records? The Akashic Records are those records of history and everything that has ever happened that's still floating around in our atmosphere. Okay? And that if you're a spiritual individual, you can pick it up and things can begin to be revealed about what has happened in the past, whether they've destroyed the record or not. I believe that to an extent.
So what happened to the record that was written on stones and in caves? They're still there.
Oh, they're still there. Absolutely.
Yes, but they were wrongly interpreted by pagans and the Christians and these so-called people who interpret it in their way to suit their cause and to hold on other people. The truth is not been known. You see, the truth is what gonna set us free, you know?
Right.
When people know the truth, you know, they will function better, even socialize better, everything better.
Right.
Because it's what is happening now, this generation is discovering the lie that was and the trick what was done unto us, and they are not having no part of it.
Right.
And this is what is happening now. These generations, they find the truth, and Babylon cannot manage it. That's why they're coming in with so much different things to stray the people from the righteousness, so that the people them cannot look into their dark past that they have done. Imagine, look how much things they have done to us, and they hid it, like they think it wouldn't come out, you know.
Right.
It
and
has
that's
to.
the funny part, because
Yes.
the truth always comes to the light. It's always a matter of time before it's revealed.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
you know, and there've been plenty of misinformation, disinformation that
Yes.
eventually
Yes.
it just comes out.
Exactly.
And then you see, I mean, as long as we have the internet, right, here in America, we see every day more and more of the atrocities that have been perpetrated on people from within the white community that we had no idea. We thought we knew, right?
Yes.
We thought we knew. But then to come to find out, we really didn't. We coming to find out now where they have, flooded whole black towns to get rid of the community
Yes.
because they were flourishing,
Yes. Exactly.
and other things. So even a person like me who considers himself aware and on top of things that's going on, then you find out some of these other things that's happened. You just say, "My God, where do it stop?" Or how corrupt is this?
Why wasn't I exposed to the truth? All these things.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Because what is happening now? No, the truth is coming out, and it is causing a lot of changes. A lot of changes, brother.
Right.
This generation here, it's, oh my God, they're not taking what our foreparents took. The way was paid for them with our foreparents sweat, blood, and tears. Yes.
Right.
So you got to teach the children, tell the people the truth. The truth has to be known. You understand? keeping us in the dark. Back in Jamaica, they told us about Brother Nancy and Brother Tukuma and Brother Tiger and how the dish run away with the spoon and all these things, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
cow jump over moon. You know, because we were illiterate at that time, so they could tell us anything. But now
And
it's
we just
different.
believed it and we took it.
Yes,
We
we
took.
Especially
took.
when we got that information from our parents and our relatives,
Yes,
our seniors and stuff. We knew that they would never lie to us, right?
right.
Yes,
We
right.
knew that they would never give us information because they loved us that would hurt us. But the reality of it is they was giving us information that was passed down to them,
Yes,
Yes,
incorrect information. So now you
yes.
got incorrect information being compounded throughout every generation until one generation finds out, hold their head and be like, "Oh, wait a minute, wait, that don't make no sense. So
yes.
that's not adding up. That don't seem
Mm-hmm.
that don't seem to be right."
It's
Then,
awakening.
then you have to address that. All right.
Definitely, definitely.
So that's what it's gonna look like. We got our host back. We got some more people we're gonna get in here into the stage. We got Ronald A. Robinson. He's back in the studio, giving us a wonderful view of that ceiling fan in his house.
And it's not a white and green. It's not a white and blue ceiling in it.
Listen, at least it ain't that blue ceiling with that white compound stripped all over like a big ass tic tac toe.
Praise God.
We have another member of the family to welcome in the studio. Hi, Ronnie. How are you doing? And we want to welcome our another brother who's here with us.
Doing fine. God is good. God is good. You know,
Good to
I
see you.
just, good to hear from and see everybody else. And I've been following some things, with the music that I see online, which is very good, and so on. So hope I can get a little closer. I will in time, but everything is good. Everything is good.
Praise it. Who else want to join us and say a word? I'm falling off like crazy, but we want to welcome each and every one here with us.
Great.
We had quite a conversation. Greetings. How are you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, give thanks for another day. Keep it
And
up.
one more day in his glory and strength, Yatta. So
Yeah,
it's all good to see you.
yeah. Good to see all of you all too, man. Yeah,
Yeah, well, we are discussing the fact that we are black and proud, and we are beautiful and made in the likeness of the Almighty, and we are not monkeys, as Darwin theory of evolution has stated, where we went to
right.
college university to learn that theory of evolution,
Yeah,
which but I want to say today he was not wrong, but he's speaking of his people. He was not speaking of us, the melanated ones. So
yeah,
he can only speak of the
Can I,
story is told. So you can join in on that topic and Wayne.
yeah. Oh, what? He's trying to discredit and undermine African, But
All the time.
actually, the Europeans they evolved from the Neanderthals, the cavemen.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, what they're really trying to say is they come from it, not we. Because we've been around longer time than them. Over 300,000 years ago, it was only black people on the earth. And the Europeans came around 6,000 years ago. Yeah? And they used to live in caves. While the rest of Africa was already civilized and been through many dynasties already. You know what I'm saying? So we couldn't evolve If we evolve from the monkey, how come no more monkeys is evolving into people right now? How come the monkeys not changing, evolving right now?
I don't know, the outer service.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Because the apes will be evolving still right now if we evolve from them. Yeah.
That's the same thing I said. Man was be still coming up from monkeys, but you know,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
life comes through one way, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, Charles Darwin is one of the fallen angels, them, you know. So he came to fight against the truth.
exactly. And what happened? The fallen angels had sexual intercourse with regular men, with regular women, and they had that breed. And when they continued, that's how they came upright. But they came from the monkey, because when you shave the skin, the monkey's pink skin.
Yeah. That's true. You know what I'm saying? So it's just cause a distraction from the truth. Yeah, because it's much to say an educated person without religion or knowledge of spirituality is make it but a clever devil. If you're not spiritual and you're full of education, you're just a devil. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And have no form of knowledge of that. So you think you know everything, yeah?
Rastafari, they are only wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge, you know?
They have no knowledge, yeah? Yeah.
Yes, Rasta.
It's like they're like some devils.
Wise to do evil.
Yeah.
Brilliant to do wickedness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the devil.
Yeah, they come from the devil, man.
Yeah,
but
man.
They come in all forms. Yeah.
Oh yes, but that's true about what we're saying, and it's a kind. We have reached a time where now, like I have said earlier on, where people are now scrambling to be black, because you're seeing here the black man is the top prize. You know, and I don't want to jokingly say, don't go to the holiday in Dubai, you know, Yatta, because I don't think you may come back if you go across there, because you know things are happening to melanated folks over there, you know. But I heard it's good things. But we don't want to lose any of our brothers. So that goes for the three of you all, or the four of you all who are listening. Please don't go to, please go to Ghana for vacation.
Yeah.
Definitely Ghana. Definitely Ghana.
Before started the slave trade, you know. The Saudi Arabians were the people who started the slave trade long before the Europeans came around, you know.
Well, there was two sets of slave trade, you know. So there was that transatlantic and that sub-Saharan. So they involve the only people I respect for it. Yeah, it's only Uncle Putin I have respect for, you know. So that's all me I say.
True. God, them guys are still slavers, you know. Them Saudi Arabian guys, they're still slaving people, man.
Yes.
They're still doing this trade.
And
yeah.
Because they're kings and queens and they have castles and money, they're not trying to work.
Yeah.
So slavery will continue, you know, in a subtle form, but it still continues.
Yeah. Right. They've been doing that for a long time, yeah. Right. So then now they come with it, they use the religion now to disguise it more easier, you know.
They might use AI to overthrow everything now.
Yeah.
We can't text by my phone again. AI take over.
Right.
We can't even do nothing. Everything we do, AI do it with me.
Yeah, the AI thing is getting serious.
So then want AI to rule our lives.
Yeah.
Yes, and if you write anything that AI no like, then redline it.
If you look at the evolution of man.
True. What they do, bro. Yeah.
Well, you know, again, you know, I'm happy that we have come to this overstanding and we have come to this wonderful place in history in our life, whereby it's a proud moment, because we see everything in Africa has turned almost upside down, which is just to even tell you all the fact that the colonizers has turned the map of Africa upside down, because where South Africa is to the bottom, it should really be on the top. So that
Yeah.
again, a piece of knowledge I want to bring real fast. Maybe I won't say it again, so grab it real quick. But the map of Africa has been turned upside down. South Africa is really the crown and the jewels of the
Yeah.
mother. So she is really supposed to be on top. And they did the shape different because South Africa is really the crown, the jewel that the mother wears. And they try to, you know, make her
Yep.
into all the different things, but she's returning. Her arms are wide open, and her children are happy to surround her again because you can't go Africa digging out no gold and diamonds and leaving with no truck at night. Well, shot.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's a new day, and we are happy to live to this new day because we grew up wondering why we are seeing children with flies running around their faces in Africa, and 20 years pass and you see the same pictures because the Red Cross decide is the best picture that they can use to pimp Africa. Africa is not poor; she has been exploited. You see,
Yeah.
so then I'm afraid to go to Africa. So when I get to my 20s and I had money enough to travel, I said, I'm not going down there because I heard the mosquitoes are big like anything else and flies are running on people's faces. I'm not going. And I had at that time, you go on to some other place. You go on to Paris. Oh my God, the Eiffel Tower. You want to see
Yeah.
life, not realizing what they did to our motherland until we were able to educate ourselves apart from the imperial education and come out of her really and emancipate our mind. Then we saw the mother for who she really was and is, because really she is the one that sustained the whole earth. You know, even Mr. T right now is saying to Burkina Faso, if you don't pass over your gold and your minerals in 24 hours, what can happen to you? It's a new Africa because Burkina Faso told him, he can go where the sun don't shine, and I'm just saying, so it's that type of Africa. So it's no longer our grandparents' Africa, whereby anything is anything. And you could just ride up in there, take out gold, diamonds, and bag up a people.
Yeah.
In a matter of fact, they say if you want some trouble, bring it on. They used to tell you that they're not afraid to die. Straight up. They tell you one time, we are not losing our wealth to the colonizers or to the imperialists or the West.
Yeah.
If you want things, you can come and sit by the table and we can negotiate at a good price and you can have some of our things because we can supply the earth with our things. But you're
Right.
not going to the truck and thief it no more.
Yeah.
That's
No. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's not.
Africa is rising up and uniting right now.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. I'm happy we arrived this day to see it because we are the ones who silently felt the pain because our hands were tied and we couldn't do anything because sitting at the top were the puppets. But then
Yeah.
we have our King Ibrahim Traore. We start to feel good again. We was like, come
Yeah.
on now. Touch Ibrahim. You see what's gonna happen. You just touch that one man. And we all out, we just needed just one. Just one. And
Yeah.
now the West, they wanna kill themselves because they did not believe one black
Yeah.
man could unite the whole of Africa. And that is
Oh,
what has happened. The Almighty Himself has done that.
yeah. True.
Any part of Africa you go and you say Abraham Traore, they give you the power sign because they know it's a man of power. And all our strength is going behind this man. We love him because we know we're hoping that one day somebody will stand up. Please, one day.
Yeah.
And
This
we
little.
were hoping it since after, the kill of the great leaders, we were hoping that it didn't bring a fear because, gone was Gaddafi, gone was this one, gone was
Yeah.
Kwame, gone was and but the Almighty Himself, He said, vengeance is mine, and I will repay. And I was wondering because sometimes I go to the Almighty, I said, Father, don't forget that thing about slavery, we didn't take care of that situation yet.
Yeah.
Because, that 100 years, try, what's going on with it. But
Yeah.
it's over now,
Yeah. Yeah. True. It's happening.
it's over.
Yeah. It have to work and it have to happen because good always overcome evil.
Oh, surely, surely, surely.
And it's like prophecy that the king did prophesy. We're confident in the victory of good over evil. Yeah. So that's what's gonna happen right now in the years to come. Yeah, these words are gonna manifest again. Yeah. Because the time for everything, you know what I'm saying? The
And
time for Babylon rule is about to end right now. You know, the time of rulership is ending right now. You know?
Babylon, your throne condom.
Yeah.
Where's my musicians tonight? Where's my musicians tonight?
Oh
So
yeah.
what do you want to do for us tonight, Yato? What you want to do for us tonight
Okay. I could do the
before
African. You know? Yeah, song for Africa. You know.
the
I say, Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. The richest place with the poorest race. Beautiful people with a smile on them face. Rasta know it is a big disgrace. Jah me want you deal with the case. Don't hesitate and don't make no time waste. The oppressor, them not stop intimidate. Have the people still a work like a slave. But think about give them a raise. I never think about to change up them ways. A full time them fly up the gate. Look how long them have the people await. Rasta know them get so irate. Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa me come from. Africa is where I belong. Africans at home and Africans abroad. No matter how we tough and no matter how we hard. One thing me a beg you never let down your guard. Remember John asleep and them have it in regard. How the leaders them take way for fraud. And them always a draw be a card. Introduce them disease fi cut we life short. But the more them try, more we multiply fast. Don't a so we talk, that's how we a talk. Up a Congo, that's how we a talk. Them surely shall get them reward. Never shall escape when the judgment start. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. I will never forget where I man originate from. The land of Kush, Africa, the motherland. They stole us away to slave down in a Babylon, from generation to generation to generation. Took away our names and spiritual connection, replaced it with politics and religion. I was going through pure tribulation, all over the world, pure lamentation. Them think we would have dead out in extinction, but to color stand out with distinction. Only we alone possess most of the carbon, not to mention uranium and coltan. Remember forward in the days when we were great, when the white man used to live in them caves. Africa was civilized for over 10,000 years. The Moors that civilized Spain. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. Africa may come from. Africa is where I belong. Yeah, you know. Bless up, Mama Africa.
bless and love.
Yeah, that's
Respect.
the far right. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
man.
Yes, Africa we come from. You
Good.
Yeah,
see it?
man.
Come on, I
Mm.
tell you.
From,
Yeah, we getting ready for our concert as well. It's going to be a bigger concert, a bigger show because now that the musicians are outside, they're
oh,
having some Tuesday nights. We have our first
yeah,
vice come and give us a rendition. But some of us would have seen him on the local 26 page of
yeah,
some of his work that he have done. I don't know what he want to do for us tonight, but first vice, you always bless us with something. So the floor is open to you. Give thanks.
yeah, man. Give thanks, man.
Blessed love, have I been heard?
Yeah, yeah.
Loud and
Lord,
clear.
Respect and honor. As the Virgin said, Africa we come from. Me nah forget how we may come from. Now forget the Ethiopian tradition. Me now forget to Africa, we motherland. You mad? You mad? Now forget how where we come from. Now forget we Ethiopian tradition. We now forget say Africa we motherland. You mad? You mad? Hey, David Solomon Menelek I. The condition of my people make the gods wanna cry. We see them asleep on sidewalk and peers up at them bedside. Well, all the rich and famous, all them do is drive by. Them no business who want live, them no business who want die. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. That's why me don't forget how we may come from. Don't forget me Ethiopian tradition. Me don't forget say Africa me motherland. You mad? You mad? Don't forget how we may come from. Don't forget me Ethiopian tradition. Me don't forget say Africa we motherland. You mad? Hey! David Solomon Mendelek I. The condition of my people make the gods wanna cry. To see them asleep on sidewalk and pays for them bedside. When all the rich and famous, all them do is drive by. Them no business who want live and them no business who want die. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. That's why me now forget how we may come from. Now forget me Ethiopian tradition. Me now forget say Africa me motherland. You hear? Now forget how we may come from. Me now forget me Ethiopian tradition. Me now forget say Africa the motherland. Yo! David Solomon Menelik I. The condition of the people make the gods wanna cry. We see them asleep on sidewalk and pace up on them bedside. But all the rich and famous, all them do is drive by. Them no business who want live and them no business who want die. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. That's why me now forget how we may come from. Now forget me Ethiopian tradition. Me now forget say Africa my motherland. You mad? David Solomon Menelik I. The condition of my people make the gods wanna cry. We see them asleep on sidewalk and peers up in them bedside. When all the rich and famous, all them do is drive by. They no business who want live and them no business who want die. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Cry for me brothers and my sisters when me see gone astray. Enough of them astray upon the devil's highway. Put a lightning and thunder upon all filthy ways. Listen where the Shiloh sing. Now forget where me come from. Now forget me Ethiopian tradition. Me now forget say Africa me motherland. You mad? You mad? David Solomon Menelik High. The condition of my people make the gods wanna cry. We see them asleep on sidewalk and peers up at them bedside. Well, now the rich and famous, all them do is bye. They no business who want live and them no business who want die. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Invisible tears I cry. Pray for me brothers and my sisters when me see gone astray. Enough of them astray upon the devil's highway. What a lightning and thunder upon all filthy ways. Listen where the Shiloh say, yo, now forget how we may come from. You mad? Rastafari.
That's every
You
time.
need
Yeah,
another
hey,
one? Our next one
Boom.
before
instead
you
of
do before you do another one, the invisible tears is wonderful, but the whole performance, that great harmonic spiritual frequencies came out of the void.
wow.
So if you could turn your camera on so we can see where these wonderful vibrations are coming from,
Oh,
that would be great.
oh
Because
my God.
all we
Uh,
saw was darkness.
hold on.
But while you do that, let's look at this.
And may I say that be praised to whom all praise our due is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Women Auxiliary presents Empress Sadie Saunders. I'm going to say it.
Ba, ra, ra.
I hope Charlie is not too jealous that Friday he needs a jingle also. My God.
No problem. I will have to do a jingle for Charlie.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Big brother. Your
Yes,
little brother.
yes. I will.
Thank you
Or
so much.
even Yatta too. Can make Yatta do something too. You
Oh,
know?
sure.
Yeah, man. We definitely gonna do a jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soon too. How much
So
minute? We have to.
what's your first vice, and somehow we don't know if you drink plenty honey this weekend, but your voice was very melodious and so beautifully, both of you. So whatever honey you're drinking, I might have to come on Thursday and see if I get a sip of that honey. Because I know you'll be hanging out on Thursdays.
Yeah,
Don't go.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
You are
Job.
welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So first vice, the floor is yours. You can give us another one.
Yes,
You-
definitely. Although you're not seeing, I don't know what's going on with this camera thing here, but
Don't worry. Now pop down
okay,
because now
that
pop down.
voice will be heard. Yes. I have this song which I wanna get it record. New World Constitution, and I think it's a very good song. We need something for the black people of this world to secure our future and the children that we're gonna leave back on earth here. Okay? New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and everyone, New World Constitution. All right, what we say? New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and everyone, New World Constitution. Amendment 1, freedom of speech and movements on the land to each and everyone. Amendment 2, love and respect, call your neighbor for true. Amendment 3, education a power one we want it for free. And Amendment 4, the old and the age and the infant secure. Old and the age and the infant secure. Old and the age and the infant secure. New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and everyone, A new world constitution. All right. A new world constitution, equal rights and justice to each and everyone, A new world constitution. Amendment 1, freedom of speech and movements on the land to each and everyone. And Amendment 2, love and respect, call your neighbor for true. Amendment 3, education and power one we want it for free. Amendment 4, hold on the age and the infant secure. Hold on the age and the infant secure. Hold on the age and the infant secure. Yo! New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and everyone, The New World Constitution, an Amendment 1, freedom of speech and movement on the land to each and everyone. Amendment 2, love and respect, call your neighbor for true. Amendment 3, education and power one we want it for free. And Amendment 4, the old and the age and the infant secure. Old and the age and the infant secure. All on the age and the infant secure. New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and everyone, A new world constitution, an Amendment 1, freedom of speech and movement on the land to each and everyone. An Amendment 2, love and respect, call your neighbor for true. An Amendment 3, education and power one we want that for free. An Amendment 4, all on the age and the infant secure. All on the age and the infant secure. All on the age and the infant secure. New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and everyone, The New World Constitution, an Amendment 1, freedom of speech and movement on the land to each and everyone. An Amendment 2, love and respect, call your neighbor for true. An Amendment 3, the education and power one we want that for free. An Amendment 4, hold on the age and the infant secure. Hold on the age and the infant secure. Hold on the age and the infant secure. New World Constitution. Each right and justice for each and everyone, Well, we need a new world constitution for the black man. You see
Yeah,
it?
yeah, Chad.
Sam
That's
first.
enough.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Dark, in the dark ones. But we want to say we had a wonderful Sunday evening show. Charlie, is there anyone else in the wings hanging out, or we can wrap it up? Well,
Check back, check backstage. See if it's any. I
there's no one in the backstage hanging out. So we
okay, okay.
had a wonderful family Sunday evening. We thank our musicians as usual. They are so wonderful for Yatta coming out with us. Hello coming out with us, always delivering. And we thank you all so much that your concert is going to come up soon. And for Ronnie coming out with us this evening. And of course, Charlie, our engineer, who always delivered. We had such a good topic concerning our Black and Proud self. So we want to wind down for the evening. It's that type of evening, and we moving closer to the top of the hour. But we have our one topic, and we have felt so good this evening that we were able to cover it in such grace and harmony, and a little bit of laughter as well. And just for the end note that we, the Black people of the world, did not come from the monkeys, but we came from the Almighty, and we came from the earth. We are children
Mother.
of the earth, and we must remember to stay grounded in the earth as well. So every so often, just for a small trivia, when you get a chance, you walk around barefoot, you put your feet into the earth, you say a Psalm 91, and this keeps us grounded because often on this side we give a little bit of spiritual awareness to keep each and every one up and up about what's happening. Now, there's no way you can experience true happiness in life unless your spiritual life is intact as well. So you take care of your carnal being and you must take care of your spiritual being. And this side, we feed both the flesh and the spirit. So we thank each and everyone for coming out. This is Sadie Gomez of Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, Local 26, Woman Auxiliary. Want to come to you and say good night. And I want to say, let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart
Be
be accepted.
acceptable in thy sight. So Jah Rastafari. Kadamawi, Kadamawi.
Awe.
And may I say that to be praised to whom all praise our due is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Woman Auxiliary presents Empress Sadie Saunders.